Hey everyone, Chris Roma here, aka Roma Aquatics, and today I'm going to make a moss slash subwassertang tree. A lot of people do this with moss. I'm going to attempt to do it with subwassertang. This is going to be the first time I'm trying to do that, so I hope you have fun and I hope it turns out and follow along with me. So here we go. So what you're gonna need is some, I use super glue. I like this Loctite gel. It's water resistant and it works well. The first time I did this with just gluing the plants to the trees, I used this, which is basically the same stuff, but this is just like a nicer dispenser bottle, but it's way more expensive. This you only get 0.14 of an ounce in here, and this was like $4. And this you get 3.1 ounce, so you get basically get 0.3 ounces in this, and it was only about 250, so it was cheaper and you get about twice as much, and you just don't get the nice dispenser. But I don't think you can really get all the glue out of there anyway. It's really hard, so I prefer this stuff. But anyway, something to cut with, some aquarium foam. I just have some scraps left over from my one of the matin filters that I had that was green foam, so it works out nice to have the green foam. But I'm sure it doesn't matter once the moss grows and covers it. And then you need your wood and of course your plant. I'm using Subwassertang. I got all of this from a guy named Doug Chu on Aquavid. He sells baseball-sized portions, and this is about half the portion that I received from him for about $18. The whole portion was $18, so you get about double this for $18, which I think is a crazy good deal. But anyway, let's get building this moss tree. Okay, so basically I already pre-cut one of these, and this is what I'm going to do. You want the foam kind of thin, and like I said, this is the first time I'm doing this too, so this is an experiment for me as well, but I think it's going to work out better with the foam is pretty thin, instead of leaving it in thick blocks and then try to cut it like a natural, like get rid of all the sharp edges that you'd see in nature. So this is kind of the shape that I'm going for, just like some random oblong shapes, and like something like that would fit perfect. Like we're basically going to glue it to something like that, you know, so then it looks like it has a thick canopy already, basic, rather than oh, I'm out of your camera range, sorry. But basically we're going to glue it something like this, so then it looks like it has a nice thick canopy already, rather than just gluing the plant onto the wood and then having it just be a thin canopy. We could get a nice thicker looking one by using the foam. You could get a nice thick canopy by just using the plants, but it takes a lot longer. So this is the cheater method. But open up the super glue, start it. So this is already wanting to drip out. Just put a dab there, a dab there. So just put a dab on each one of those branches there. And I'm going to go ahead and, well, I was going to pre-dab another branch so I didn't waste the super glue, but it stopped coming out. So how is this going to go? And you see this is an ugly side I have, so that I want it to be the back. So I want the canopy to kind of lean forward a little bit so it looks fuller, nicer. You don't want to just drop it like that. So I think that'll be good. I'll hold it there for a second. Need to put a little bit more glue on just to make sure it seals. Generally with super glue, the less the better though, guys. So don't go overboard with it. There we go. We got it attached. Like I said, it's going to look like that in the tank, so it'll be leaning a little bit forward. That'll do nicely. Let's go ahead and cut another piece. Let's say for this one. Okay, so this is what we ended up with, and I think it's looking pretty good already, even without any of the Subwassertang on there. So I'm feeling confident that this is going to look pretty good. And again, I just glued the foam anywhere there was like a place that looked like there should be a canopy. So I think it came out pretty well. I should have did it in time lapse. I didn't know why I didn't think of that until after the fact, but I'm going to glue the Subwassertang on in time lapse so you can watch that. So here we go. So I think it came out pretty well. The thing with this is you could spend a fortune on super glue and Subwassertang in the beginning and coat it really, really well and make it look really great right off the bat. Or you could put a thin layer of Subwassertang on and you could still see the foam and then just give it a couple months to grow out and go the cheaper route, but it takes longer time. I kind of went somewhere in the middle here and put thick, a little bit thick, but you could still see the foam. But eventually it'll grow in and look great. I also made, you see, I'm out of Subwassertang, and I only did this one branch. I still have those two left. So I'm gonna have to order more. But you guys get the idea. I'm gonna let this dry and let's see it in the tank, and we get an idea of how long I'm gonna have to wait before this looks really, really good. So this is what it looks like in the tank. Like I said, you can still see patches of the foam, but since it's green, it kind of blends in very nicely, and I bet in 2 or 3 months that Subwassertang is going to absolutely cover that foam completely, and it's going to look fantastic. I tried to scoop up some of the pieces that fell off, and I just kind of shoved them in the crack down there. But yeah, I think it looks good. Um, It'll look even better once we get the other trees in on the other side, but now you gotta wait about a week for another order of Subwassertang to come in. I also, if you notice, I took the one off of that branch that was kind of upside down, like the upside down growing canopy. It looked weird and just didn't look right, so I just kind of snapped the branch off. And so, yeah, I think it looks great. So, that's it. Hope you like it, and until next time, guys, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Later.